As you know, September is Heritage Month, and the National Heritage Council is tasked with, among others, the preservation, protection and the promotion of heritage. Annually, the agency recognizes and acknowledges the significant role that individuals, communities and companies play in the management of heritage. This through the Golden Shield Heritage Awards. One such individual is poet, novelist and political activist, Dr. Mongane Wally Serote. He joins us in studio now, and he's accompanied by the Heritage Council CEO, Advocate Sonwabile Mancotywa. So good to have both of you. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thanks for having us.
I know that it is, I say it in the strongest possible terms, it is an absolute honor to have you sitting here. And just to have yet another feather in your cap, because you have numerous accolades. But to get this, how does it feel to constantly be recognized for the incredible work that you do?
You know, when that happens like it is happening now, it is a very serious challenge to one to say what is it that I should do as a human being to contribute. If I talk specifically about South Africa and Africa, to contribute here in the country, at the present moment on the question of non-racialism, what must we do? But also diversity in terms of looking at the continent and in South Africa, but also in the world. And therefore, one is thinking and saying, we need to find something that will create consciousness among us that we need freedom, we need justice, we need peace. And that, in terms of South Africa, the first pillar of that we should try to create is, all the African languages here have a saying, "Mutuke mutuka batu," what must we do to achieve this?
And that's, the work is still there, and it's still hard, still a long way to go. It
still
really
a
is.
long way to go.
And that's, I suppose, where the Heritage Council comes in, and the role that you play in all of this. I mean, to create a non-racialist society, to create that cohesion and to remember where we come from and always embrace the heritage of every culture that we have here. And that plays a very big role. Sonwabile?
Leanne, it is a very big role, and hence the Heritage Council is making strides. That heritage is not just about us celebrating on the 24th of September. This is a strategic resource to humanity. Hence, throughout the year, we need to ensure that we conscientize society. And then as we're doing, on a number of programs that we're having. And we're glad that Dr. Serote has, achieved this, award, which is the Lifetime Achievers Award. What we do, also is to say that there's no space for them to retire,
Yeah.
And, so as now, I mean, Dr. Serote is still involved.
Indeed.
And there's a project now that the Research Council has actually, asked him and to work on, which is about, research on African families. Do we still have African families? As you know, that African families were eroded by it's said, by colonialism, years of colonialism. But Dr. Serote is challenging us in that research, which we're waiting for, such the outcomes of that research,
yeah,
which will show whether we still have African families. What are the institutions that are there to protect African families? And here you're talking about more than 4.2 billion years of our heritage. So the decolonization agenda is on, and people like him, and many others. For instance, Dr. Serote, after he spent almost 18 years in exile, you have already mentioned, but again, we're happy, in his lifetime, to be recognized. 1994, he was the first, in the first parliament of the Democratic South Africa, the first chairperson of Portfolio Committee of Arts and Culture. He then pioneered the early policies, like the white paper that is being reviewed now. But of course, whilst he was, that he was the first CEO of Freedom Park.
Of course, of course.
And beyond that.
And we're honoured to actually have him sitting here because we don't want to talk to you like you're not here with us and what you've done in your life. But for me, what I found so interesting is, I mean, the list goes on. You could carry on speaking all morning about the accolades and what you've done.
Yeah.
But I found so interesting an article that you were speaking out, and this was after you received your honorary doctorate from the University of Johannesburg, where you're saying the proudest moment that you could recall in your life was the moment that you spent 9 months in solitary confinement in jail for believing in people's rights. Mm-hmm. How that was a proud moment, obviously somebody like me would think, wow, that's a proud moment for you. But for you it was, and it stood out for you as a moment that you did something really good for your country, which you're celebrating now. Mm. Why is it a highlight for you?
Well, the issue here is one survived that moment, one survived that moment, and one never changed one's views about what South Africa must be. And as I said when I began, and I'm saying this because when I look at what we're doing now in our country, the issue which is the pillar of our nation is under severe strain and challenged, the issue of non-racialism. When we were in prison, that's what we were fighting for.
Yeah.
To find a manner to create a country that is livable, that gives quality of life to people, that uses the diversity of this country to enrich our very being of being human. Yeah. So I'm saying that was seriously challenged in detention. I mean, we were in solitary confinement for 9 months, and we were brutalized, but we never changed our views on what we have to do,
Yeah. And here you are, still writing, and as we've heard, we're never going to let you retire because there is so much more to come on you. However, one of your biggest challenges right now, and a battle that I know that you're going to fight for, is the incorporation of more African literature in schools, in the syllabus with the Department of Education. So I know along with the Heritage Council, that's a big agenda for you, but you're a big advocate of this. How far are we in getting this achieved?
We are poor.
Yeah.
We are very poor at that. We've had several ministers of arts and culture, ministers of education over the 23 years or so, but we have not achieved a single thing in that regard. Therefore, it's still something that needs to be activated and fought for. That we have a long history of writing in this country. First in the African languages, and in English and in Afrikaans, and different genres that have been created through writing. This should be most accessible to our people, because all of it speak about who we are and speak about our context as the world.
Indeed. Yeah. And we need to. Finally, I've got 30 seconds before an ad break. The award ceremony, some of the other recipients, we know that Ntata is getting the Lifetime Achievement Award. Who are the other recipients and when's it taking
We have
place?
a number of categories, but I can mention that Ubuntu, for instance, this year goes to Mrs. Biko.
Yeah.
For her own outstanding contribution. It will be, handed over to her. In fact, the family and foundation is actually sending the granddaughter, so the grandson, but on the 19th next week it will be handed over to her, because Mrs. Biko has kept the vision of their husband.
Yeah,
and
alive
with
for all these years.
and with the foundation, for instance, that is there in Kinsberg.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting night, and we're saying that. People should really support the National Research Council more especially with knowledge production that we're focusing on. And, interestingly, that we're saying that we're working with, we're appealing for all the stakeholders that the new vision of the Research Council will be, will be on.
Okay, Dr. Serote, good luck, congratulations on this achievement, and thank you so much for coming in this morning. And of course, the Heritage Council CEO, always good to see you. Thank you very, very much for coming in, Sonwabile, our guest here on the program. Quick break, we'll have